Okay, last week we spoke about the chakras and the relation to the vowel sounds, or various vowel sounds. So, what I want to do this week is continue with that theme, but I want to talk about the Bij sounds. Now, next week, what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on the Bij sounds for the chakras, and then next week I'll speak about various other Bij sounds or Bij mantras that you can use. So, what is a Bij? Well, what is a mantra to begin with? A mantra is a repeated phrase or repeated sound, and this is very much a word of power or words of power. And depending on which mantra you're actually using, it could give you certain powers. It could just create or pull in a particular energy. You also use them for devotional prayers and things like that. The Bij sounds or the Bij mantras, Bij means seed, so it would be a seed sound. So these are said to be the kind of original sounds. Jonathan Goldman actually states that the Bija, the seed sounds, are simplest linguistic portions of sound, which are called morphemes. So these are really Sanskrit letters. Now, if you try and find out how many Sanskrit letters there are in the Sanskrit alphabet, it becomes a bit tricky. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. So some people will say it's 50, others will say it's 54, some will say it's 52 and not 53. I've seen 63, 64, 41, so I'm still trying to discover the root there. But the Sanskrit, I kind of tend to stick with 54 because we have a mala which is 108, and one of the reasons it's 108 for a variety of reasons. But one of the reasons is that because there are 54 letters in the Sanskrit alphabet, we go up the alphabet and then we come back down again, which makes 108. So I tend to stick with 54, but I'm still trying to discover that part. So the Bij sounds are these seed sounds, original sounds. Now, Om is said to be the sound which created all sound. This was the sound which was there at the beginning, the very beginning, and this is a sound that brought creation. Because these Bij sounds and sound vibrations, everything vibrates, so sound vibrates, and it's believed that Om was the original sound which created everything. Now, when it comes to the Bij sounds connected with the chakras, there are two ways to use this. So if you do a proper study into it, you'll see that each chakra has a flower, and the flower has a Sanskrit letter in the middle, and then it has petals on the outside with Sanskrit letters on the outside. And what you're supposed to do is vibrate all of the Sanskrit letters. So it's the entire alphabet split up into these flowers that go on the various chakras, and you whisper the outer petals and then you vibrate the inner Sanskrit letter. So that's one way, which is considered to be the proper way. But what a lot of people do is they just focus on that middle Sanskrit letter, that Bij sound. Now, we do have various pronunciations for these. So if we look at the root chakra, it would be Lam, Lam. This can also be spelt Lum, Lum, or Lang, Long, which is Lang, and the ng is like nasally sound, or Lung, which is Lung, and with each one, Ram, Yam, Ham, etc., you can, there's those variations in spelling as well, and obviously then pronunciation. The other thing I found is that, like last week we spoke about the vowel sounds on the chakras. Different teachers will put these vowel sounds into different places, and we find with these bead sounds, some people will there's a difference between the third eye and the crown. So some will have sham at the third eye and om at the crown. Other people will remove sham and make it om at the third eye and aum at the crown. So when we look at om itself, there is the variation of aum. So we've got om, which is om, and aum, which is aum. And om is said to be a compressed form of om. In Tibetan Buddhism, aum is considered to be, if we take the letters A, U, and M, it's body, speech, and mind. I don't really think there's a difference between om and aum. I think they are the same sound, really. I could be wrong, but that's just my consideration. So the letters themselves, the bead sounds to the chakras. So if you've watched this far and you know what I'm talking about, I'm assuming you know where the chakras are and what the chakras are. So starting at the base, root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, or Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat, and Agna, and then Sarasra. So going in that order, we would then have Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Sham, and Om. Or, as I said, you get here and you have Om and Aum. And the pronunciation is quite simple. Taking the root, it's L with an R as in father, R, and then an So it would be and etc., etc., etc. And you can vibrate them individually, or you can go through the whole lot if you want to. It's probably a good idea to start at the root and vibrate them and, get that working properly and then move on to the next one during a different session. So that's it. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's a lot more you can study with this, obviously. Go into beach sounds, have a look at the flowers with the various Sanskrit letters and beach sounds that you can whisper and then vibrate the central or the subset sound, I think it's called. Have a look into that, and as I said, we'll have a look at other beach mantras next week that you can incorporate also. And yeah, that's it. All right, so have a great one. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.